Hey guys, and welcome to episode 38 of How I Made My First $1 Million. Today we are looking at the numbers from November 1st, 2023. And as usual, we will start with the balance sheet. So we have assets around 44,000. It's up 400 bucks. 400 bucks from last month. That's pretty remarkable. Liabilities at 70,000 unchanged, and so net worth still negative 25,000, just $400 less negative than it was last month. So I guess like step one is stop the bleeding, right? So maybe we're doing that. We'll see. I think things are turning around because of things I've said last month, things I'm going to say right now in this video. We'll see. Stay strong. Okay, let's look at the chart. Get rid of my face here. What does it look like? Well, we're still negative. We're just not as low as we were last month. So you can sort of see it coming up. But again, we haven't really been meaningfully positive for a year. There were a couple months where it was over, but like for the most part, it's been a year since we were meaningfully positive. Okay, that's okay. I think we're in another. I think the Bitcoin, I guess from your perspective, Bitcoin's coming out of the bear market, going up. It was up a lot this past month. I don't know the percentage, but the irony is like I sold almost all my Bitcoin, and I spiritual growth. I'll get there in a second, but like. It's the ironies. I've been waiting for this bull market, and you know what? I have to let go of the bull market in favor of more important things. So anyways, income statement. Let's take a look here. No revenue. No revenue in October. Big goose egg compared to selling, almost 19,000 worth of Bitcoin the previous month. And expenses, I didn't quite spend as much, but remember last month I paid off a whole bunch of months of rent. I think it was I could tell you that's 5 months of rent I paid in a single month. So I'm not going to have a rent payment for October, November, or December. So rent will be lower. Expenses overall will be a bit lower, except I will have to pay off a bunch of accumulated debts very soon in the next 60 days. So November and December will be higher in other categories. So what else is here? Travel and adventure. Well, I went to India. You guys know that. So all these expenses pretty much happened in October. Yes, they did. So $2,200 on flights. Yeah. Or, 1,800, whatever it was. Is anything worth really commenting on here? I don't know. $600 on gifts. That was all in India. Gifts for family and friends, and giving some money to the Indian people. Just giving them basically $300 US equivalent. So yeah, that's all I have to say about the income statement. This is so chaotic from month to month, but you guys know why. I know why. Finally, cash flows. Yeah, what is there to say? Spent less on purchases, spent more on taxes. I paid my income taxes from 2022, so I pretty much file an extension every year, and then they're due the middle of October instead of the middle of April. And so I paid whatever, $900 something, if this wants to load. Well, yeah, 1105 minus 152, so whatever that is, 953. Yeah, that sounds right. So yeah, I guess paying only $953 in federal taxes for a year is pretty good, but when you're not working, that isn't good. Anyways, and then investing. Yeah, last month I sold a bunch of Bitcoin. This month I did not sell any, so that's the cash position. All right, updates. I mean, I guess this is the good stuff. So I spent 10 days in India, and then I've been in Florida ever since. So I guess that was almost like 12 days if you count travel. I mean, it really does take 24 hours to get there and back. So yeah, 12 days basically. We expanded our vegetable and herb garden in Florida. We basically doubled it. So we went from one planter and a couple pots to two planters and a couple more pots. So that's cool. And we didn't expand it because the vegetables are doing well. We expanded it because the vegetables are doing so poorly. They're doing so poorly that we want to run like a parallel experiment and do things a little differently. Because like everything's dying. So I don't know if we got a whole bunch of defective plants or if it's user error. But the garden for the most part is not doing well. We're going to need to make some changes. I don't know what. I don't know if we need more water or less water. They get plenty of sunlight. They couldn't possibly get more sunlight. Less sunlight? I don't think that's the thing. More soil? Deeper soil? Shallower soil? I don't know. Oh, it's an experiment. But anyways, we're expanding and we're making mistakes and we're learning from it. Or we will hopefully learn from our mistakes. Buildspace Season 4 ended. I mentioned that last month. However, this month I got an email saying I graduated, which was kind of funny and very unexpected because I only submitted 3 out of the 6 weekly updates, weeks 1, 2, and 6. And then the 3 in between, 3, 4, 5, I didn't really do anything. However, it turns out you only had to submit 3 out of the 6 weekly updates in order to graduate. So technically I graduated. So kind of a weird feeling. It felt like I didn't earn that. Anyways, just thought I'd mention it. All right. And then, yeah, just like last month, the rest of the updates I want to put into the Life Force framework. Okay. So relationship with body. Been waking up at sunrise, but like in India, right? The first 10 or let's call it 12 days, I was in India. So like everything in my routine got thrown off. So I wasn't waking up at sunrise. I was just waking up basically randomly, except I saw the Taj Mahal at sunrise. I got up at, I don't know, an hour or hour and a half or something before sunrise that day. Anyways, so these numbers kind of aren't that meaningful because it was such a strange month traveling. But yeah, I would say if there were 9 days out of 30 that I woke up at sunrise. Yeah, today I was up at sunrise, a couple days recently, at least one in India, maybe more. So yeah, these are approximate. Cold showers, I would say about half of days I take a cold shower. Fine. Lifting weights is still on pause. I really do want to get back into it. My body feels like it wants to like push something and like pull something heavy. And I'm just not really leaning into that yet, but I will very soon. Yoga, I did 4 times in October. I intended to do yoga somewhere in India, and then I didn't. So not a big deal. There were other things going on, but that would have been cool. So 4 classes in October, and again, I usually ride my bike there to and from, so it's kind of like a double workout. And still no golf or disc golf. I expect that I'm not going to play golf or disc golf the entire winter, like probably not until I get back in Buffalo in May of next year, but you never know. I mean, I really do enjoy these things, so I have them there as a reminder. Relationship with others. I made a new family in India. I didn't meet a family in India. I made a new family. Like like the dude calls me brother. We still text, and his sister as well. And I talked to them. I've FaceTimed with them a few times since I've been back. I went and stayed with them. And, they invited me to their village, which is kind of cool. And on the way there, they said that I would be the first white man ever to go to their village. I was like, what? So when I got there, like the whole village was like waiting for me and they were all just watching. Anyways, it was such a cool experience. I mean, I could talk about it for hours. And I do still intend on creating a video explaining this and reflecting upon some of the experiences. It was so, so cool. I mean, it's just really humbling and magical and otherworldly. I mean, it really felt it felt like a different world. So I intend on making a video dedicated to the India trip. I don't know. I think in my head, I'm like building it up into this like production, and the bigger I make it in my head, the less likely I am to do it. As crazy as that sounds, like I can't imagine not doing it. There's just so many cool stories I want to share and that I want to reflect for my, or that I want to document, for my own benefit, so that I can watch them and reflect on them the rest of my life. So I want to capture that for selfish reasons. Like, I don't want to let these things slip away. But here I am. I've been back for almost 4 weeks now, and still haven't made that. So I got to do that. Anyways, and that family has 32 people living in the same village, which is pretty crazy. Okay, relationship with others. A friend came to visit in Florida for 3 nights, and that turned into 4 nights because he, long story short, he couldn't make his flight, and he tried and whatever. He had to push it to the next day. So we ended up staying 4 nights. That was great. Great to hang out with him. Went to softball practice twice in October, including once with my friend. It was amazing. So he came, and he enjoyed it, and it was great having him there. So that was really fun. However, the main dude that I play softball with is he's going through some personal stuff, and it's pretty heavy stuff. So we're probably not going to play softball for a while. So maybe I'll elaborate more on that in the future. All right, relationship with others. 2 other things here. Part-time, well, that wasn't just an offer. Part-time job at Rite of Passage started October 2nd, and a full-time job at GoldSilver.com started October 16th. So I mentioned in the last video that I had job offers and that they would be starting. They did start. They're awesome. Actually, Rite of Passage ends today, funny enough. Wednesday, November 8th. Today's the last day of the cohort. So I've done it, for the last 5 weeks, and it's been amazing. That community is so special. It's like unbelievable how cool that community is. The people are so great and open and intelligent and caring. Yeah, so they're amazing people. The people I work with, the students, everybody's amazing. So it's a real treat to be a part of that community. So that's great. So it's a little sad that it's ending today. But, they do things between cohorts, and there'll be another cohort in the spring. And, of course, I can always stay in touch with everybody independently. So that's that. That's really good. Gold Silver. So, yeah, I started this October 16th. It's been 3 weeks, I guess 3.5 now. I've made 8 videos for them, and worked on lightly edited 3 weekly newsletters, and getting to know the people there. So that's super cool. It's an amazing opportunity. The people seem very talented, and the team seems, I don't know if I should say like well-oiled or something, like it's a well-oiled machine, or if it's, I don't know how to describe it yet, but I mean, like, there is a team, there is a process, there is like a factory for like producing videos, making content, newsletters, and like pushing it out. And it's interesting to like just jump into that, because for the last 5 years I've been doing everything on my own, and like these videos, like it's so much work doing it alone, because just imagining like editing them, I'm like, no way, nope, too much work. I'm just gonna make videos I don't have to edit. Done. And then trying to like manage a content plan, and it's like no way. Like I can barely do 1 video a month on my own. So anyways, doing it alone has been difficult, and jumping into a team where everyone has a specialization and like complementary strengths is like, it's like just amazing. Like I just got a seat on a rocket ship. So that's pretty cool. I'm definitely looking forward to kind of building a routine, seeing where I fit in, and getting comfortable, or at least getting a routine, even if it's not like comfortable. And then, I guess just like iterating and improving. I guess that's it. Just trying to grow the company, grow the mission. It's the mission I believe in so strongly. Basically to enlighten the world that maximum prosperity comes from sound money, free markets, and individual liberties. That seems so true and so important. And I would love it if everyone felt that way in the world. And so until everyone behaves that way, and every country and every ideology incorporates that as its foundation, until that happens, I have work to do. So it's pretty cool to do it as a part of this company. Finally, relationship with self. Daily 15-minute meditation. I have 10% here. I didn't meditate at all in India. Not formally, but like there were plenty of moments where I was doing something that could be classified as meditation, where I was just like watching my own thoughts, having like mini out-of-body experiences where I was just like zooming out saying like, what is this guy doing in India, like in this village, and like meeting these people and having all these different experiences, like hanging out with monkeys, climbing elephants and riding elephants. So many cool things, and just like in those moments I'm like, what am I doing? Like, how did I get here? Like, this is so otherworldly. So they weren't formal meditations, but there was conscious awareness. So anyways, once I got back from India, I would say I did this maybe 3 days, the last 3 days of October. So 3 out of 30 is 10%. So I have done a formal meditation, I think 10 days in a row. So 3 days in October, 7 days in November. Anyways, I'd like to make this a daily habit and then grow it, even do it twice a day, blah, blah, blah. But for now, this is all I'm keeping track of. I also have on here that I'm reading the Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo, but if I'm being honest, I fail to do that most days. So, got to get better about that, but that's okay. I'm also reading The Space Within by Michael Neal. Again, going through that very slowly so I can savor it and put the things into practice. And I also have on here that I posted 0 articles and videos. So that's of my own content. I did mention that I published, or I was a part of, 8 videos for GoldSilver, the GoldSilver YouTube channel. I'll link to that in the description. And I also helped with 3 newsletters, but I didn't post anything myself. I guess the one exception is I posted one post, which I wouldn't even call an article. It was just a post in the Rite of Passage community. So it's not really available to the general public. It's only available to the Rite of Passage community, and a couple people, no, one person only. I can't remember if it was one person or 2 people replied to that. It was 2, I remember now. And one had a really nice book recommendation, which I started reading last night, and I will share more on that next month. So that was really cool. So there was some serendipity there, and it wasn't a full-on article or essay. It was just a post in the community. So anyways, finally, chess, watching instructional videos and solving puzzles. Yeah, it's sort of a hobby at this point, but there were a couple weeks where I was taking a lesson every weekday, and there was one week where I probably played different games of chess against random opponents around the world for 20 hours in a week. I estimated that I spent 20 hours in a week. It was so many games. So that was fun, and I could feel myself getting better. So that was good. So anyways, last thing. How am I thinking? How am I feeling? What am I doing? I'm thinking that spiritual growth is extremely important. Definitely number one. I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed, and sometimes I feel resistance to the work I have to do. Like jobs or other obligations, I feel a resistance. And then I think, it's good to get triggered. That's where you can find your blockages, and then you just release into them, and then they go away. They go away over time. And then you're less likely to get triggered in the future. So it's really just running that loop of awareness and inviting myself to get triggered, because that's how I learn about my subconscious. And that's how I grow spiritually. Like that has to happen. Like you have to get triggered. You can't just like pretend you'll never have bad feelings. You have to invite them. There's a great quote from the Headspace app, the meditation app I use. It was something like, mindfulness doesn't take us further away from our problems. It brings us closer. So I like that one. Mindfulness doesn't take us away from our problems. It brings us closer. So that's how I'm thinking and feeling. And what I'm doing is I'm working and playing a little chess, trying to take care of my body, trying to hang out with other people, trying to access my subconscious and grow spiritually. So that's it. So thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you next month.